Hey guys, Gary Lucas with Obsidian Painting here. I just wanted to do kind of a little update. There's a couple things I want to talk about, and one of those things is I do want to remind you guys that we are a commission business, so if you're interested in any of that kind of stuff, getting your models painted, well, that's really about all we do, paint. We'll do like assembles and conversions and like sculpting and stuff like that, but we don't like make terrain or anything. So if you're interested in getting anything done like that, don't be afraid to hesitate, and I'll put all the information down in the sidebar. And if you guys want, you can check out my website, and I'll also put it down there, because this is not going to be a link, it's just going to be a word. And on the website we have lots of stuff. We have a little forum section. It's not big, but whatever. Talk about whatever you want there. I put up videos all the time from YouTube on there. I'm not going to do anything weird where I put stuff up on the website that I don't put up on YouTube. It's going to be both. I also put up photos of our work, and there's a lot of information about the business itself, and I also have a little web store on there where I sell models and hopefully some products I plan to be coming out with in the near future. Like I'm working on a paint line, possibly. That could come out in the next year or 2 years. I have no idea. It could take a lot of time, but I'm working on that, and possibly get some other kind of products designed, possibly some bases, mostly for the commission business though. And yeah, so for the commission business itself, we are doing a couple things right now, and I want to talk about that. The commission business, most people you find will do a level system, and then there are lots of people who just do one thing. We offer technically 3 different levels here. Technically, we have our normal tabletop, which is just, if you want an army done, that's what you're going to do. It's around $4 per model at tabletop, and that's for basic size models. That's like for a space marine or an empire guy, or just like a normal an orc, just something simple. Anything larger, like say an ogre or a minotaur or something like that, that's going to cost around $10. Small stuff like goblins, dwarves, that's actually only $2, so can't go wrong there. And that's the tabletop level. You guys have all seen my tabletop level. The Imperial Guard that we're working on is tabletop. I'm going to be the Space Marine Commander that I'm doing for you guys. That's going to be actually a tabletop level. I'm not doing that to display. So you guys will see that. And then on top of that, anything that has wings or is mounted, I consider like mounted. And my basic mounted rate is around $12. Just because of the sheer amount of stuff you have to paint. And but if you actually somehow manage to have something that's mounted and winged, I just count it as a large model, and it'll cost you $20 for that. And now we're getting into really big things like the orc giants. That'll cost like $20 or so to paint. And tanks and whatever, they actually have a pretty decent system. Essentially rhinos, so Space Marine, this is Warhammer. Rhinos are $30. Razorbacks are $45. Predators are $60. Land Raiders are actually $80 to paint. And then so Imperial Guard, this is actually a much better system if you play Imperial Guard, because the Chimera itself is only $30. And then for the any of the other ones, like the leman russ, the basilisk, all that other stuff, they're only $50 each. They're all the same. Leman russ, basilisk, manticore, they're all $50 because it's the chimera body with some other fancy thing put on top, and that's how I gauge it. It's this thing, and then it's with this thing as well. So the rhino plus the razorback thing, that's just one thing. The rhino plus a turret plus the side sponsons, that's $60, and that's for the predator. The land raiders are pretty big. All land raiders are just $80 because they're big and have lots of fancy stuff. And then the Imperial Guards is like that. Anything else is just kind of like, we'll go by, if you just ask me, like if you wanted a Tau thing done, like Devilfish, that's about $45 just because of its size. So whatever. I'm also pretty reasonable. Any price I say to you is always negotiable. I could say, hey, here's my estimate, and you could say, hey, I don't really have that kind of money, can we work something out? And I say, yeah, what's your budget? And then we work something out. I do in payment plans, so you can pay this amount of money now, and then in a month you can pay this amount of money, and then you can essentially get an army over a couple of months. Another thing I do is I do take in trades, and essentially what I do is, if you want to trade me models, one, I assess the quality of the model. So I assess not the paint job. I don't really care about the paint job. It's kind of rude, but I don't really care about the paint job because what I'm probably going to do is strip the minis and paint them so I can resell them. Unless they are already at a decent quality, I will resell them and just say, these aren't painted by us, just trying to move them, selling them for a friend. And I will do that. If you give me models, I will try my best at selling them for you. And I will take models in on trade, and I do roughly half the value of the models, half the value at 20%. So if you give me a model, say you gave me a Terminator army, and not even an army, just a squad, 5 guys, you can buy those for $50 from Games Workshop. Once again, it doesn't matter if it's painted to me. I'm not looking for painted miniatures. I'm looking for miniatures themselves that I can paint or use for projects. So if you give me some models, I'm going to say, okay, that's $50, and then minus 20%. So 20% of 5 is like $1 something. So that'd be like $10. So about $40. And then half of that, so $20. I'd give you $20 worth of stuff for me. I'm not going to give you $20. I don't want to buy people's miniatures. I'll do it on trades for miniatures I have, so $20 worth of stuff, or $20 worth of painting services. So say you wanted to get an army done, and you had this army that's kind of sitting way over there, and it's like, I'm an army, but I suck, or something, and you don't want to play it anymore, but you want to get this new army, but you're like, oh, I have no money because I spent it all on this army. Well, what you can do is you can trade that army in, and it can go towards your new army. So that's an idea, and you could essentially, you could feasibly get a whole army done by trading in stuff. Just giving me stuff, and I'll be like, hey, alright, here you go. And once again, it equates to half of 20% off of the actual models themselves. If they're painted, it doesn't, to me, because I don't need painted miniatures, I'm not bringing that in as a fact, or what's the word I'm looking for, as a thing to make it more expensive, because I don't, if it's painted, if you're trying to sell it to me because it's painted, it means nothing to me, so I don't want it. But once again, some things can change. Like if I really like it, I'll be like, yeah, I'll buy it. And so it's kind of like, I'm weird. It's just a big negotiating circle. And yeah, essentially this is kind of all I really wanted to talk about. Oh, actually, there's more. Box sets. So I may have mentioned this before, but I'm doing a box set sale. Any box set, so like a Battle Force from Warhammer 40k or a Battalion from Warhammer Fantasy, is going on a flat rate. So any Battle Force from 40k is $300, and $500 for 2. And then say if you want like 3, it just starts over again. So it'd be 500 plus 300, and then so on. It gets kind of weird. So you could get 4 for 1,000, but you could get 3 for 800. But just because of the amount of models in them. And I am actually looking for some Black Reach sets. So one, if actually anyone has any, and you want to get some stuff painted, but you don't want to get some stuff painted from Assault on Black Reach, or you have some stuff and you only want like half of Assault on Black Reach, and you don't want to paint it yourself and you want someone else to paint it, I'm looking for this kind of stuff. So let it churn in your noggin, and let's see what we can come up with. Yeah, that's about it. Oh, and the Warhammer Fantasy battalions, they're going for 400 or 600 for 2. So you can get 4 for 1,200 or 3 for 1,000. And that, essentially, if you think about it, if you get multiple battle forces, that's enough to essentially get a whole army done. Like if you get, 2 Assault on Black Reaches, and just take the orks, and then get like the orc battle force, that's 3 box sets. And you can mix and match, I don't care, you can get whatever. You can get this one, that one, and this one. You get the Dark Eldar one, you get the Tau one, and you can get the Space Marine one. I could care less. But you can get 2 of the Assault on Black Reach and the normal orc one. Just take the orcs out of everything, and so that's like what? $600, $900, $800, something like that. Doesn't matter. I'll negotiate the price. $800, I think it was. But here's what I'll do: because you don't need the Space Marines in the Black Reach, I'll less that price for you. So because the box set itself is $90, I'll just cut it in half, $45. Less $45 times 2. So 800, essentially minus 100. So you get the whole thing for $700, and you get a huge orc army. It's at least 2K, if not more. And you get like 6 Def Coptas. That's like what, 20, 40. That's like 60, 50 orc boys. And then you get like, I think it's 10 knobs in total. It's pretty good. You get a bike and a truck. It's essentially a good army, good sized army, 2K. And for any project that's like over like $600, I'll magnetize everything for free. I won't even charge you. I'll just do it for free because I don't care. At that kind of money, it's getting into the point where, alright, since I'm mostly the only person here, I sometimes hire other people to like assemble models for me, but generally I'm the only person, so I don't care. And I generally, well, I say generally a lot, I've been saying that like all the time, but I base my costs off of my standard of living. How much does it cost for me to survive in the place where I'm living? So right now, I have a certain amount of rent, and I have a certain amount of food I need to buy, so I base my costs off of that. So if I can get a project that can clearly pay for that in the whole month, then I'll give you stuff. I'll throw in stuff like free magnetization and stuff like that. I live in an apartment, so I don't have to pay for a huge house. And I'm not living alone, so I split the cost, so it's barely anything to live here. So, just some things to think about. Links are down in the... It was the sidebar, but now it's down there. I don't know what to call it. But check it out, guys. See you later.